Daybreak Africa is your one-stop top-notch breakfast show that brings you all the interesting stories happening in and around Africa.
Because we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. I hope we're all doing fine this very Monday morning. I mean, it's the new week. Oh, wait. Even if it's the new week, I mean, which Monday is not the beginning of a new week? But it's nice to know that you're watching us this morning on Daybreak Africa here on Television Nigeria. Remember, you can stream us live. Watch us on our YouTube channel at Television Nigeria. And don't forget to subscribe. So, I mean, a whole lot happened over the weekend. Big Brother Nigeria, insecurity, politics, and what have you. I mean, that looking at the angle of insecurity, we had the Borno State governor saying there's a sabotage that's not allowing insurgency in the state to end. Last week, there was this video going around about the governor being under attack. And that happens not to be the first time it's actually happening. And this was around the Baga. And Baga usually doesn't have insurgency because this is really very close to Cameroon. And he was saying, I mean, they need to be more look at it, like what's really happening in Borno State, because it looks like each and every other day, insecurity problems come up and then there are lots of questions being asked. And to me, it seems like the same question every other day. I mean, why is insurgency so heavy in Borno? He asked that question, and he is kind of talking to the president or asking the president to look inward, to look into. If you could see that video, you see when they were under attack. And he's saying it's not the first time. We all know it's not the first time, it's the second time. So if the safety of the governor of that state is not guaranteed, what can the people say? All right, that's for that. Let's move to politics. So, politics on the other hand, we have the Edo governorship election saga. I mean, I think, was it 2 weeks ago? There was when the PDP and the APC, they were going up and down for their campaigns and what have you. And in the course of campaigns, they go for visitings, asking for prayers and what have you. And they went to visit the Oba in the palace. And there was this mishap and some things went down. And there were accusations up and down, APC persons coming out, spokespersons saying, this is from this person, this is from this person. Although none of them have been verified or confirmed to be actually true or false. But then Obaseki said in a statement, enough is enough for perpetrators of violence. And I found something he said quite alarming. He said, if you want violence, we will give them violence. That's if they want violence, we will give them violence. Now, coming from a governor of the state, and he's also aspiring to become the governor again, like he's rerunning election. That statement, I don't know who's going to pick that statement out, but then it shouldn't have been something that should have been said. I was listening to a program this morning, a breakfast program this morning, and they were talking about statements that youths from the side of a particular party can actually pick and say, okay, if our person is saying this, that means we can as well say this or that, or actually carry out another act as a result of this particular statement. So you see, we have to be very careful with statements that we make. We can go on and on and on, but then let me look at security again. The Abuja-Kaduna road, it has been actually condemned to be unsafe for a particular period of time, but not until the security troops have actually come there, and so we see peace has been restored there. So talks about whether kidnapping is now happening there on that road again should kind of be out of place. That's coming from the military. They say that anyone who is still suggesting or saying that kidnapping still go on there would actually be held accountable to their word, and probably the other ones carrying out the act. I don't know about that. All right, it's time to move on to the news desk to get news from Susan Achin. Stay tuned.
There are a lot of false information about the coronavirus. These are the facts. People of all ages can be affected by the coronavirus. However, older people and people with pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, heart diseases are more vulnerable to the disease. It is not for old people alone. Gargling salt and warm water or chewing garlic and ginger cannot prevent the virus. Drinking alcohol, hot lemon, palm oil or chloroquine will not kill the virus. The virus cannot be transmitted through mosquito bites. Antibiotics do not work against the viruses. Antibiotics work only against bacteria. Boiling pineapple peels, lime and ginger does not kill the virus. Putting raw onions in rooms will not ward off the virus. Using or spraying Dettol, special oils and water all over your body cannot kill the virus. There is no scientific evidence that cooking, drinking, or eating any of these is an effective treatment for coronavirus. Do not self-medicate and take responsibility by sharing only verified messages from health authorities such as NCDC, Federal Ministry of Health, and WHO. By sharing only verified messages from health authorities such as NCDC, Federal Ministry of Health, and WHO.
Good morning and welcome to AM News. I am Susan Achin. Nigeria on Sunday confirmed 304 fresh cases of COVID-19. The latest data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) indicated that the new cases were found in 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The country now has 43,841 confirmed cases of the virus, with Lagos topping the daily infections from the pandemic for Sunday, according to the NCDC. Of the number of infected persons, 20,308 have been discharged, with 888 deaths confirmed from the disease. Meanwhile, despite the rising number of COVID-19 infections in Nigeria with 883 deaths, Taraba is the only state in the country yet to record a single fatality from the virus, according to the NCDC. Taraba so far has 54 cases of the virus, out of which 11 have been discharged, 43 persons in admission, but no death reported. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAF, has asked the Federal High Court in Abuja to order President Muhammadu Buhari to publish the details of loans that have been obtained by his administration since May 29, 2015. In a statement on Sunday by its Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadari, SERAF also sought the details of the interest rate on such loans, the total amount of debts that have so far been incurred by the government, and details of the projects on which the loans have been spent. It made the request in a suit filed before the court in the nation's capital. And now moving on to the entertainment scene. The first eviction of the 5th season of Big Brother Naija was held on Sunday, 2nd August 2020. Katrina and Lilo were the first housemates to be evicted after spending 2 weeks in Biggie's house. This, however, was made possible following Biggie's twist of the game. Biggie had previously announced that the 4 housemates with the least number of votes will be at the mercy of other housemates. After the voting, the ladies got the least number of votes from the other housemates. Well, not very surprising there. And that's it on AM News. I am Susan Achin. Daybreak Africa will be back shortly. Stay with us.
A broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NigComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries,
all right, welcome back. That was news by Susan Achin there. I mean, one of the news I picked quite interesting was the eviction of Lilo and Katrina from the Big Brother house yesterday. I mean, yesterday was a really very confusing one, a very confusing twist there. You know, Big Brother has this twist he does and each and every other time. Now, the housemates themselves had to be the one to actually evict two of those persons. But Lilo's own, I didn't see it quite coming. Katrina probably because the housemate has had in the past 1 or 2 rifts with her. All right, moving on. This 9-4 newspaper review this morning, and the first paper I'll be looking at this morning is the Punch newspaper. Taking the big headline here: poor preparations threaten student resumption this week. That's on page 2. Most schools lack hand washing points, running water, PPE, others. Lagos, Ogun, other SS3 students resume Tuesday. Gombe, Enugu, undecided. You know, PPEs is really very essential. If they really want the school resumption to hold as scheduled, they actually have to find placement for all of that. Now, moving beside the picture nameplate there, COVID-19 violation. Guests flee as Ekiti shuts hotel during wedding. That's on page 23, talking about weddings that have been going on amid the COVID-19. All right, below that, coronavirus tests in 61 laboratories free, says NCDC. That's on page 20, because I won't talk much about that. Well, businessman attempts to jump into Lagos Lagoon over 5 million naira debt. Sanwo-Olu pays off debt. That's on page 4 and 5. Well, talking about God coming and intervening in situations you thought would never happen. All right, above the nameplate there, we must review Chinese other loan agreement. Reps insist. That's on page 2. Ekiti Oshun to partner on Fasami's burial. That's on page 8. Marketers stockpile petrol. August price may hit 150 naira per litre. That's on page 21. I'll move to the next newspaper now. That's moving to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. The big headline here: $3.313 billion Chinese loans. Nigeria pays 461 million, still owes $3.12 billion. Serap wants court to compel Buhari to publish details of government's loan since 2015. That's on page 4 and 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Above the nameplate, trading Nigeria's sovereignty for loan height of irresponsibility. That's coming from Atiku. Review all foreign loan agreements, PDP tells NAS. That's on page 4. So beside that, Labour calls out workers for nationwide protests next week over unresolved issues of corruption. That's on page 4. UN worried as explosives killed 230 Nigerians in 2 years. That's on page 29. I'm surprised that's coming up now. All right, still below the nameplate, why central banks must prioritize transparency. That's coming from IMF. That's on page 7. And I'll take this last headline here. Rotation can end after South gets power in 2023. That's coming from the Arewa Youth. And that's on page 23 and page 26. All right, looking at the This Day newspaper this morning, we have this nameplate here with the maritime, this picture nameplate here, Maritime Matters. But I'll take the big headline here. Concerns mount over loan agreement clause waiving Nigeria's sovereignty immunity. Experts fear repeat of fate of Zambia, say waiver of immunity unconstitutional. That's on page 12. Above the nameplate, no stolen Nigeria crude oil in China, NNPC insists. That's on page 40. Low price boost stock markets by 113 billion naira in July. That's on page 8. And I'll take this last story here. PDP governors to battle federal government over alleged breaches of constitution. That's on page 5. All right, let's take a look at the Daily Times newspaper this morning. The big headline here with brooms and buckets. That's a picture there. All right, the big headline here, decades after Nigeria's high-profile murders unresolved. True there, that's on page 2. Below the nameplate, economy, how Nigeria can avert economic recession in 2020. That's on page 4. And I'll take this last story here, editorial, the Daily Times of Nigeria and auspicious rebirth. Talking about big English this morning. That's on page 12. And that does it for the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Taking a look at the Business Day newspaper. The big headline here, the human face of an economy growing slower than population growth. What is coming next? That's a very big question. What is coming next? What's coming next? All right, beside that, Nigeria diasporas in US top list of high-earning immigrants. That's on page 30. And this last story here, inside story of the Business Day newspaper. Nigeria's plan to acquire $18.12 million scanners heightens hope for automation of cargo cleaning. That's on page 2. That does it for the Business Day newspaper this morning. So moving to the Guardian newspaper. How e-learning flops in public universities. Wow. How e-learning flops in public universities. I'm not sure, we're just getting to know that. Inadequate infrastructure, lack of expertise hamper progress. Stakeholders list epileptic power supply, erratic internet network as challenges. That's on page 6. And even minus that, I mean, the funds, even personal funds from the students. Is it there? No, it's not there. How can they get data when they haven't had enough to even eat? All right, below the picture story there, airlines panic as federal government withdraws 27 billion naira support. Support, that's on page 6. All right, that does it for the Guardian newspaper this morning. Moving to the Sunday Sun newspaper. 2023, I'll support Igbo president if there's a dash there. You want to get a hold of that story, you can take the Sunday Sun newspaper. And below that, Akeredolu dismisses claim to report Mimiko to EFCC. That's on page 27. And then there's this victory story here. My 10 years without a child was traumatic. That's coming from Trisha. She's a Nigerian actress, and that's on page 14. I'll take this story on coronavirus here. Lagos Mosque, churches to reopen August 7th and 6th. That's coming from Sanwo-Olu. And that does it for the Sun newspaper. Now moving to my last headlines here, my last dailies here, that's the Nation newspaper. Federal government, states meet on next step as exit pupils return. Protest over 25,000 naira test fee in Ogun. Oyo adjust calendar, boarding houses open in Lagos, choir schools waiting for directives. Another story here. Annex 6 more powers on election process primaries. That's on page 8. Above the nameplate, federal government saves 120 billion naira monthly from digitalization. Manufacturers groan against under forex scarcity. That's on page 25 and page 18. Page 13 of the Nation newspaper. Now I'll take this last story here. Masari, only 30 policemen in 100 Katsina villages. That's on page 8. And that does it for the newspaper review this morning. So you might want to pick some of the dailies this morning to get hold of many more stories. All right, so moving to the next segment, it's time we go to the health desk and see what they have for us this morning. Why you should not skip breakfast. Welcome to another interesting episode of Healthy Living on television Nigerian. Do you eat breakfast regularly? Breakfast being the first meal of the day is the most important meal. One should not skip breakfast as it helps in breaking your overnight fasts. If you forego your breakfast, you extend these fasts, which might impact your metabolism. You should have breakfast within 2 hours of waking. Those who skip breakfast tend to eat more portions of food in the next meal. Consuming a healthy breakfast restores the glucose levels in the body and lowers stress levels. Here are some interesting reasons why you should not skip breakfast and why it is so vital. 1. According to various studies, missing breakfast regularly can lead to the developing of type 2 diabetes, as it may cause to chronic insulin resistance. Without having breakfast, the insulin levels can drop and then spike after lunch, which might increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. 2. Those who eat breakfast in the morning are mentally sharper to those who don't. Certain breakfast foods have been proven to give you a brain boost, enhance your short-term memory, and make you stronger and sharper. Eating a healthy breakfast that mixes various fruits and vegetables, low fat, and protein food helps increase concentration levels and allow you to stay productive. 3. People who skip their morning meal are more likely to have clogged arteries. Skipping breakfast is linked to other harmful habits which can lead to hypertension, obesity, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, which in turn increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes by 27%. 4. When you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar level drops down. So you need a nutrient-dense breakfast that can provide you energy to get through the day and kickstart your metabolism. To boost your metabolism, try to eat breakfast at least within 2 hours of waking up. 5. Starting your day with the right kinds of food in the morning can help keep you feeling energized throughout the day. Foods rich in whole grains, protein, fiber, and good fats can help provide your body with energy that helps keep your body and brain energy levels sustained for the rest of the day. 6.
If you're looking to lose weight, don't skip breakfast. Eating heavy breakfast can help you curb hunger throughout the day and ultimately reduce the risk of overeating and consuming more calories than needed. Starting the day with a nutritious breakfast can stimulate and motivate healthy choices throughout the days entirely. That's the much we can take on healthy living today. We will come your way again with foods that make your breakfast worthy. Stay tuned to Television Nigerian and stay healthy.
All right, welcome back. That's healthy living there on importance of having breakfast in the morning. I mean, it's very important for us to have breakfast in the morning. I think it makes us mentally sharper than others who haven't had breakfast this morning. I hope you have had breakfast this morning, wherever you are watching us here on Daybreak Africa on Television Nigeria. It's the birthday of one of Television Nigeria, Daybreak Africa's top fan, in person of Ochania Salome. So here's it. This is wishing you a very much happy birthday, wishing you many more birthdays in advance, and then wishing you long life and prosperity from us, all of us at Daybreak Africa and Television Nigeria. All right, moving on. It's the next package is a documentary on the rising cases of rape in Nigeria. Let's listen to that. Rape is an act of sexual intercourse with an individual without consent through force or threat of force. Rape has been long delineated to be caused by lustful sexual desires. The understanding of rape now is a rapist or a victim may be an adult of either gender or a child. True, rape can occur in same-sex intercourse. It is most often committed by a male against a female. Over time, in many rape trials, the guilt or innocence of the accused hinges on whether or not the victim consented to sexual intercourse. The determination of consent often leads to distressing cross-examination of rape victims in court. In relation with consent, the age of consent to sexual intercourse is commonly set in most countries at between 14 and 18 years, but respectively at age 18 in Nigeria. Vera Uwa Omozwa got raped and murdered in a church where she went to read. Barakat Bello got raped and murdered but in her house. Jennifer also suffered the same fate, Ochania, who died of complications from the prolonged rape, and there are many more underreported cases of rape and domestic violence in the country. The recent rise of rape cases reflects a harsh reminder that no place is considered as the safest, not even our religious homes, as seen in the case of Vera, who was raped and murdered right in the church. Talk more of our educational institutions, like we saw in the case of a 4-year-old Nigerian girl who was suffering from prolonged assault and rape while seeking education. And this is unfortunately sad and scary.
We ride my leg, we cover my mouth, tell me to shut up. After break, it's time to wash my hands.
Anytime I want to go and drop her, I used to drop her early in the morning, sometimes after 7. So I will drop her for this uncle, the owner of the school. Sometimes we will sit down the side of the school, he will write Okada and go and open the door for us. And I will hand over her to him. I will say, thank you, sir, I'm going to take care of her. So I will left. After 3 days, which is the very day of this incident, on the 25th of February. So I went to school to pick her. This very day, they didn't bring her out to know that he know what he's doing. So I waited for this man. I didn't see him, so I said I should go. When I now get to school, this girl, the temperature was very hot, and he cannot even talk to me. Anytime I went to school to pick her, she's the last slow writer to finish, and it will be sweating. And this girl can write faster too. I will be wondering, why are you being this last? All the students have gone home. You will remain in class. When I now get home now with her uniform, I open her. She cannot even eat. Everywhere, from God is hearing me. Everywhere, nowhere remain inside her vagina, from up to down.
In the course of launching the sex offenders register as part of the government strategy
to deal with the issue of rape in the country in December 2019. Mrs. Pauline Talon, Nigeria's Minister for Women's Affairs and Social Development, claimed that about 2 million Nigerians, mainly women and girls, are raped every year. The figures, although not proven, shows that no progress has been made in the combat against women's sexual violation. In similar light, the Minister of Women's Affairs and Social Development also made a shocking revelation during a courtesy visit to the Deputy Senate President, Ovie Omo Agege, in July 2020, that at least 3,600 rape cases were recorded during the lockdown enforced due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Even so, due to security fears at internally displaced persons camps, some women and girls have reportedly become vulnerable to sexual exploitation in the form of rape and survivor sex.
We are reaching out to all the state houses of assembly as well as the National Assembly, and with this collaboration now, the experiences of the Inspector General of Police and NAPTIP will be factored into how we can help them in revisiting the laws so that their work will be made a little bit easier, so that those who are rapists will be held accountable.
In relation, a protection assessment report published in May 2016 by the Borno State Protection Sector Working Group comprising national and international aid providers identified sexual exploitation, rape and other sexual abuses as a major concern in 14 camps out of these 26 camps hosting IDPs in Borno State. Due to fear of stigmatization, most rape victims go unreported in Nigeria. But not until a bill seeking to end stigmatization of victims of rape was pushed by the Senate sometime in June 2020. The bill seeks to uphold and protect the fundamental right to dignity and freedom of association as provided by the 1999 Constitution. The bill is titled Rape and Insurgency Victims Stigmatization Prohibition Bill 2019. It is being sponsored by Senator Mohammed Sani Musa. Despite current campaigns against rape, other forms of sexual abuse in the country, quite a number of perpetrators of rape walk about freely on the streets after committing the dastardly act due to poor investigation and inherent shortcomings in the criminal justice system. A month ago, a protest was held against sexual violence, which was organized by some concerned Nigerians. They took the protest to the police headquarters in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, where they charged the police to do in more prosecution and conviction of rape victims.
I'm a woman, I'm a human being. I've suffered different kinds of violence related to sexual and gender-based violence. And so I'm here to call on the government to declare a state of emergency on sexual and gender-based violence. We are tired of dying. We are tired of all of this. We want to be treated as human beings. We shouldn't count only during elections. We should count before elections.
If people keep abusing women and little girls, it shows that our country and our community have lost it. I believe that as a family unit, we need to go back and start educating boys. How are we raising our boy child?
Even so, police spokesman Frank Mba claimed the police force were prepared and taking necessary steps to charge rape victims, and also asked the families of the victims equally to be committed to getting justice for their victims.
We must end the connivance of relatives to shut down police investigation and to shut down prosecutions. We have seen so many cases where we have tidied up investigations involving rapes, only for the victim's family to turn around, reconcile and strike a deal with the suspects, and then they come back to the police to say they are no longer interested in the prosecution. And even when we insist on prosecuting, whether they support us or not, they get to the court and they turn around to become hostile witnesses.
A situation where a rape victim goes to the police to report, and the policeman or woman tells the victim to go and sort it out at home as it is a domestic case. And the implications of such response are the victims are left at the feet of the society without protection.
We have to tackle the mindset of the people who are perpetrating this crime. There's a disconnect somewhere. What is predisposing them to becoming rapists? It's either when they tried it when they were younger, people hid it in silence and kept quiet about it. But we say, don't further stigmatize the victims. Begin to shame the perpetrators of this rape. Bring them out to the open. Put them to shame. And when people label them as rapists, their names are in documents. This might be a way of curbing or making sure people, the younger ones who are coming behind, will not indulge in such acts.
Looking at Nigeria today, irrespective of the laws, we have recorded low convictions for crimes against women. A criminal, even after much understanding of the punishment for a particular crime, will still commit the crime after he finds that there has been a poor rate of convictions of that particular crime. The time has come for us as a nation to stand up together against this crime. It is time to do something about it. Away from the conversations, we need a highly deterrent law that is effective enough to curtail these acts of wickedness called rape, so it doesn't become a culture.
All right, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is still Daybreak Africa here on television Nigeria. I mean, that was a documentary on the rising cases of rape in the country. You see, over time, there's been an increase, a spike in rape cases in the country. And not only are they being raped, some of them die in the process, or some of them are being murdered, but whether intentionally or not intentionally, whatever. But the problem now is not even these cases. The fact that the cases go unnoticed in some angles, and then the fact that even those that are being noticed, what law has come in place? Has law really taken its place, taken its course? That's actually the most important question. What are we doing as a society, as a community, as a country to actually tackle this problem of rape in the country? That's actually the main problem and main question right here. All right, that leads me to our next package on Amazing Africa, a visit to Madagascar. Let's go to Madagascar.
Manakara is a coastal fishing town in the beautiful country of Madagascar. In the distance, a giant stone pier, a reminder of the French occupation in Madagascar not so long ago.
This was built during the colonial time. Now it's broken and they don't use it anymore.
The huge ships that once docked here are in stark contrast to the primitive technology still used by locals today.
Now people are using those small canoe, so when they're landing, they just go through the beach directly.
The Malagasy people still approach fishing the same way they would have hundreds of years ago. Small wooden boats, many carved by hand, set forth into the sea with one mission: bring home as much seafood as possible. Today we're joining local fishermen on the beach.
How long have you been fishing on the beach in this way?
Since I was born.
Getting a look at today's catch.
It's tastes like a shark.
And cooking a giant seafood feast fit to feed a village. Pulling sea life from the ocean is a daily routine here, and almost all of it will go to market. Your daily wages are directly linked to your daily effort, plus a whole lot of luck.
So right down here, they've just brought in a net on this whole part of the beach. They're not even fishing. This is just like the netting section. Let's go see what they got. You can see over here, they are uncovering the net, but inside you see tons of these tiny fish. So, I mean, since they're so close to the shore, I think they just get kind of this small return. Which ones do you try to save for yourself to eat?
They just try to sell all of it first. If there is some left over, then that's the one that they're gonna eat.
Okay. Though the specimens are small, the variety is huge. Jellyfish, crabs, tiny minnows, and these smiling skates. The second option, deep sea fishing. Some fishermen leave around 1 or 2 a.m., paddle into the darkness, set hooks, and wait. The fishermen start rolling back in around 9 a.m., and the result, usually much bigger fish.
Wow, what a catch you got here. There's a lot of lobster in here, there's some shrimp. Are they still alive?
They are really have found the way to kill it because of the way jumping out of the boat.
What time did you go out this morning?
At 2 a.m.
how far out are they going?
At least 4 kilometers and they can go further.
So can they still see the shore when they're out there?
They can see, but not really clear.
Wow, that sounds a little scary. Do you ever worry one day you'll just wash up on a different shore and have to start a new life with a new family?
No, you have to come back.
Okay. I think your family would be pretty pissed if you didn't.
This is Alan. I've agreed to buy everything he's caught today, and he's agreed to invite me to his village where it all gets cooked. We've got a big family to feed, so I want to see how the other fishermen fared this morning. Right where the beach meets the river, returning fishermen park their boats and display their catch.
Look at this. This is the most insane crab I've ever seen. It is like a felt material all around this crab. He's still alive, but he's kind of given up the fight. Please don't be endangered. We are gonna buy it, and then maybe we eat it, or maybe it's a new pet. There's a little like mini stop right here, little convenience store.
This pop-up beach cafe offers weary seamen some coffee and fried bread.
Salamat. How'd you do today? Oh, look at this. They got some big fish. Looks good. Looks good.
Seafood Economics 101. This woman has already agreed to buy all the seafood this fisherman brings in. From here, she takes it to market.
Ma'am, what if I told you you could sell one of these tunas right now?
That makes my life easier.
Oh, good. I'm happy to do that. How much for one of these guys?
1 kilo is 8,000.
Where will you check the weight? Oh, you know what? I wish my girlfriend had a fish scale in her purse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5?
Yeah.
It's about $10. Usually, they're gonna sell this at the market. They're gonna bump up the price. But we're getting kind of the fresh off the boat price right now.
All right, welcome back. Well, Madagascar became very popular for something, not only because of its beautiful seaside, its beautiful seafood, as well. I can imagine myself chunking on that. Yeah, Madagascar became very popular during this COVID-19 pandemic for discovering COVID organics. That has gone quite silent now. But Madagascar, the seafood is something to behold. I mean, one of those days, if you could go to Madagascar, go to the seaside, probably buy all of the fisherman's fishes, just like the other person here did. All right, so that's how much we can take today on Daybreak Africa here on television Nigeria. And if you enjoyed this segment, kindly share to all of your friends. Tell another friend that we're always here by 9 a.m. every other day of the weekday. From 9 a.m. we give you everything that you need, news and what have you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Television Nigeria. My name is Mercy Joe. Do enjoy your day. Today is Monday. Like Susan would say, it's money making Monday. So go out there and be fine. Have a nice day.
Boss, I go leave her for you now very fast. Who baby help? Now money will find, boss. With that money now, you know how many babes I always carry?
But 20 million. So it's to help me to do something better with my own life. You see.
No, I can't die for love. For what now?
I'm not God. I cannot die for love, but I can try my best for love.
20 million, you talk to love. Love go, I go buy another love.
Ha, but love na scam. I swear to God.
I'll sell it now. It's a sellable something.
Yes, now for sure I can sell my love with money. I can find another love.
Why not? For this recession we get for Nigeria, I go live and sharp.
No amount of unemployment in this country.
We are Maraba Bridge. We want to find out if love can be exchanged with money. We want to ask people, if someone offer you 20 million naira to leave your girlfriend or your boyfriend for them to marry, what will you do? Will you accept the money or not regarding the condition of the country now. Between money and love, which one has more power?
It's money now.
I said between money and love, which one has more power?
It's money.
Money has more power than love.
Yes.
If a girl gave you 20 million naira for you to leave your guy, he loves the guy, he wants to marry your guy, what would you do?
I'll collect the money now and leave.
You want to leave your guy?
Yes.
Don't you love him?
I love him.
But you collect the money?
I'll collect the money.
Why?
Nothing, but I'll collect the money.
Give me a reason why you collect the money. So since you love him.
That's a lot of money, you know.
Yeah.
20 million. So it's to help me to do something better with my own life. You see.
So you collect the money and leave the guy?
I'll collect the money.
What if you collect the money and leave you? What will you do?
It's his business.
Be sincere to me and to God. Don't lie. If someone should give you 20 million naira at this critical time for you to leave the girl for him to marry, what will you do?
20 million naira to leave the girl?
Yeah.
I will leave her now.
But if you want to marry her, you won't
give me 20 million.
I'm asking you, okay, let me say someone wants to give 20 million naira for you to leave the girl for him to marry. What will you do?
I will leave her now.
Don't you love her?
You know how much I will make from that 20 million if I invest it?
This person you love, you want to marry her?
Ha, but love na scam. I swear to God.
Why do you say love is scam?
Well, that's my own perspective, Sha. Everybody has their own perspective about love, so my perspective about love is not clear yet. Love isn't real to me for now. Maybe one day I'll find true love.
Okay, now you find true love. That one you find true love, and they give you that 20 million.
Even if I find true love, that my babe will advise me to take the money.
So you married the guy?
Now. as with this, the way this country broke like this, or the way we broke like this, boy. Don't waste time.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a tricky question, no. 20 million naira, 20 million naira. If my guy is worth more than 20 million, I won't do it.
If he doesn't what?
If he's worth more than 20 million.
If he doesn't what?
I can take it.
Alright, now presently now, what will you do?
20 million. We'll talk about it. Me and him will talk about it, and then I'll know.
Dating.
Yeah.
If the dating is corporate, if the dating is at the will of God, if the dating is a real dating, person want to marry and they have already gone to their place to say, okay, I'm interested in this lady or this girl. I want to marry. I want her to be my partner. So the money will not shy away. The money will not take you away from the person. I don't think the money will be an obstacle.
What if they give her money to leave you?
If they give her money to give me.
To leave you.
To leave me. They give her money to leave me. And if she leaves me because of money, that means she's not my person. If she leaves me because of the money, that means she's not my person. So anybody who is dating somebody, whether good or bad, they have already come together and they want to live together. Money cannot be their problem. Money cannot be an obstacle to separate you of them.
If a girl, your fellow girl, give you 20 million naira
to leave a guy for her.
Yeah, leave the guy. That guy you want to marry now. Be sincere to yourself. Don't lie to me.
Yes, sincerely. Money is not love. Money cannot be compared to love. If I actually love that guy, and as a Christian, I feel it from the Holy Spirit that he is mine. I can't leave him for 100 million naira.
Like how much do you leave him for?
I cannot leave him for any amount.
What if he leave you for 20 million?
He can do that if he wants to.
How do you feel?
I'll feel heartbroken. I'll feel very sad, but he can just go. If that's
okay. You find out on the next one, the person offer you money again, 20 million again to leave him. What will you do?
Money is not.
From your first experience.
Money is not an option for love or for anything. I really do not understand why ladies go into relationship because of what they can get, or maybe because people around will give them something, or money is not an option when it comes to relationship, especially when you know what is in between the two of you. If you
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.